Smokin Deal or Smokin A Doobie.
It is a 1988 Ford Ranger XL pickup 2-door with a 6-foot bed.
Ford
Wow.
fucking Ranger.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah, Ford fucking Ranger. I'm no Danger Ranger fan. You know that, Andy. I'm no hater, but blah blah blah. This
hear
particular one though. Oh, Mobile Moto, he's coming down on it already. This particular one I'm into, and to the point where I feel like if you were here, we would have went and looked at this one together.
I can almost guarantee you. Guarantee we would have.
I'm still thinking about going to look at it. So this is a 88 Project Ford. Was originally 2.3 swapped with a 2.3T from a TurboCoupe. I'm assuming he's saying TurboCoupe Thunderbird. The motor was rebuilt, all stock. Has been in my garage for the past 4 years. Been working on it here and there. Originally was planning on restoring it myself. The truck currently does not run. So right now, it doesn't run right now. So just keep that in your thoughts when you're pricing this. Got it to run, but tuning is a nightmare. And honestly, that's where I lost lost interest. I'm running a Megasquirt. Here's what has been done. One-piece intercooler, tile blow-off valve and wastegate. China manifold. Recommend getting rid of the Chinese manifold, I'm assuming.
Here's a photo of it, by the way. And I'm kind of surprised he would go with the Chinese manifold because the dude's got some fab skills. He's had some photos in here of him fabbing up the exhaust, the downpipe and the exhaust, and it's pretty good looking work. So I'm kind of surprised that he went with an off-the-shelf turbo manifold, but I get it. You know, I've been there too.
A Ron Francis wiring management. No idea what that is.
It's
I'd have
a
to Google
plug-and-play
that.
wiring harness.
Oh, okay. Well, that actually makes me feel better about this. Megasquirt, ARP head studs, new stock head, a Turbonetics turbo. Does Turbonetics sell a turbo for less than $1,500?
No, but I'm pretty sure you can get these for like 9. Because if it's not a ball bearing, if it's just a journal bearing turbo, and if it's something like stocky off the shelf, you can pick something up for $800-900. But if it is a true Turbonetics turbo, he drops some money on that.
I mean, the picture, it says Turbonetics on the picture. So, I mean, if you zoom into that picture, you can read it. Turbonetics turbo, AM boost and AFR gauge, 80 millimeter big brake, BBK throttle body, aluminum radiator and intercooler, 3-inch turbo to fender downpipe, reupholstered bench seat, new carpet, new door seals, window seals, 3-inch drop I-beam, drop blocks in rear, and QA1 front adjustable shocks.
And here's a photo of the inside, by the way. I actually don't think this looks bad at all. Like the seat looks like it's in pretty good condition.
It's that old school, I think Mobile Moto brought it up earlier. 80s red on red porno red or whatever. It's that, but I don't hate it. My only issue is if this was originally like a red truck and then he just painted it black, but I can't see any pictures that would lend credence to that thought other than the red interior. So I mean, it looks like a lot of the work's done. It needs tuned. Like he had it running at one point. The tune is just no good. So if you knew somebody who's good at tuning Megasquirt, like I think you're in on this truck.
I know how to tune Megasquirt. So let me just quickly tell you, I did actually get in touch with this guy. He answered a few questions for me. So that Turbonetics is just an off-the-shelf T3, T4 hybrid. It's something in like a GT30 or a T3 Super 60 kind of a range. Good fit, really good fit for these 2.3s. That's been the popular turbo to have on these since we were kids. So I mean, not a bad way to go there at all. I think he picked the right turbo. That's a good turbo to get you to like 300, 320 horsepower. Also, He did tell me that the hood, the front fenders, the bumper, and all of the front basically is all off of the truck right now. And obviously it doesn't run because it doesn't have a tune on it, but it does roll. So, he said he can roll it up on your trailer or whatever. But it has been a little more disassembled at this point because he's probably been trying to work on it while he has it listed, stuff like that. You know how projects like that go, Coy, right?
Yeah.
When you
Well,
end up getting a little stuck.
Let's pop the cherry on the price here. He's asking $3,500 for this project.
Mhm.
Now, I actually originally got this not as a deal due, but kind of sent it to a few buddies. I got a friend who I know has a friend that's into Rangers, so I sent it to him. $3,500, dude. It feels like he's got 3,000. Like you couldn't create this. $3,500 would get you all the shit, but you'd still need a Ranger to put it in.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a second. The Ron Francis wiring management, that's $400, I think. That Megasquirt system that he got, this is a legit, super nice Megasquirt system. It's a Megasquirt 3 with all of the fixings. This is $1,000 standalone EMS from Stinger Performance. These are well known in that Turbo 2.3 community. They're still very active. They're still building these. These are a really good unit. So again, there's a G right there. The Turbonetics Turbo, let's just assume that he got it secondhand. It was probably $700-800, and that's the way we would go with it too, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, all that shit's adding up. I mean, I think at $3,500, you could probably buy this and part it out and make at least your money back, maybe a little bit more. But man,
That's where I'm at. I mean,
this-
Moto here, he says working on a bum project is like chewing on a bar of Irish Spring. Look, I get it. Used project cars can be like picking up used chewing gum. Like, why? I have multiple feelings about taking over somebody else's project because I've seen ones where that went super south and then the next guy has no passion for it because it wasn't his fucking project. He thought he was just going to finish it and have a fast car or a good 4x4. But if they're already got something going the direction you want and they've already bought half the parts, why not let them take that loss on their parts? Like, I've done that before where I've bought a super clean rig and then cut it all up and put all my stuff in it. And it's like, I could have just bought someone's, truck that already had a lift kit on it and already had a bumper and already had a winch and then just did a little bit of my stuff and been thousands of dollars ahead. So, and honestly, it looks pretty good. Like the interior looks really nice. The paint looks good. Like, I'm not a big Ranger fan. This is a pretty sharp Ranger.
it is. And you know me, I have an irrational love of all things like turbo 80s shit box.
Yeah.
And dude, this ticks every one of my boxes.
It's doing the same for me because like the obvious swap is 5.0 this thing, right? That's what, or carbureted 351. Like that's the obvious go-to swap for this truck and a fair swap. But honestly, dude, you're looking for a gas, saver just to run to work or something. You pick this thing up for 3,500, you get it tuned for $1,000. You're into this $4,500 and you got a turbo Ranger. I bet this thing gets pushing 40 miles a gallon once you're all set up with a tune.
No way. These engines are not good on fuel. I bet you get 25 though. You probably get 25.
Yeah, it's it's two-wheel drive, it's lower, dude. I bet you get pretty good mileage. I think it's super cool. Like this seems like the kind of thing you could get running good and make it a daily.
I mean, that's where I'm at too.
Moto says he gets 30 with his 91 standard cab, but you don't get laid with that one. This one you might. You probably won't either, but you could.
Absolutely, this will not get you laid. Period.
It's
what this is this is a parts runner when you're just around town. Like if you're not trying to do any off-roading or going out in the woods or anything like that. Like this is the kind of thing where you want to go to Home Depot, pick up a couple of 2x4s and a sheet of plywood, and then race a 90s Civic on the way home. I mean, this is such a nostalgia. Just it's like a nostalgia bomb for me. I don't even know.
This is a parts runner, shop truck, yada yada. For sure. I think this is awesome, but honestly, as much as I'd love to buy this bullet mesh, I got fucking an MR2 project that I can't get the mental fortitude to finish, even though I literally just have to put my interior back in. So how would I, what would I be doing here? Like, and I ain't going to pay somebody to get an 88 Ranger turbo coupe swap running for it. Like, I ain't going to throw that kind of stupid money at it. I don't have fuck myself money. So
do you remember what you were saying last week about our deal dube from last week? You were saying that it would be like the perfect high school car.
yeah, this is falling right in that too, isn't it?
It feels that way, doesn't it?
It does. Mobile Moto brings up all-wheel drive it with an Aerostar transfer case. Ooh. I don't know if that's possible. I want to believe it is, and I'm probably going to go on a fucking weird oddball forum binge thing after this show and find out if it is, and have weird. I'm gonna sit here and fantasize about if I got this and the shit I'd do to it, even though I shouldn't. I don't really care for it. I have this weird. You kind of have that. You have like an 80s turbo nostalgia. I have like a 90s JDM shit can nostalgia, but then I also have a secondary fetish that it's weird shit. Like,
Yeah.
I want, when I'm walking through the Cars and Coffee and there's like a Lambo, there's this, and then I'm like, urge, and there's a record scratch, and I'm like, the fuck, that's the car I want. And I feel like this is that. Like, we're walking along, lowered Ranger. Okay, I had some buddies in high school, lowered Rangers, that look cool. Hoods popped, and I see intercooler piping, record scratch. Shoulders, square shoulder turn, head cock. You turn back, you look at your buddy, and you're like, hey, do the head over the shoulder thing. What the fuck is this? And they're like, bro, we just walked past exotics. Why are you looking at a Ranger? And I'm like, yeah, that's my weird fetish thing. I need this weird oddball stupid shit, and this is niching that perfectly for me.
I know.
Even though I'm not in the Ranger scene, I'm not in the turbo coupe scene. Ugh, I want it. So
I know. I do too.
gotta say,
think
bro,
it's cool.
3,500 is what he's asking. From what information I know, he should get it. Obviously, he's asking 35. If I rolled up, I'd be like, look, bro, I got 3. Make it happen. And he probably say yes. He's getting 3 all day for this in my mind, right?
He would have to. Right now, see, here's the problem. He admitted that the fenders are off, the front plastics are all off. It's just the bare front, and like everything's just tossed into the bed of the truck.
He admitted that, but I would have fucking went out there with a impact driver and put that shit back on in 18.5 minutes.
And I understand that. Like, but it doesn't sound to me through his messages like he's going to be putting any more time into it. And me personally, I think that if the front end was all put together, he would probably be getting his asking price. But now that we know it's all taken apart, I mean, that changes just the visuals of it. You know what I mean? The optics. You get what I'm saying?
So I got Mobile Moto. We got to we're going to wait till after we're done to read that comment, but that's kind of how I feel. So he's asking 35. He's going to get fucking 3 for it all day, every day. If this was in my neighbor's yard for sale, what would I give him? That's hard for me because I'm about to go look. Like, it's hard for me not to go look at this truck, and I want to, but I don't want to because I'm afraid I'll bring it home. It's one of those where I'm like, I want this, but I don't want to end up with it. I'm in a weird spot. I don't need another project, even though I feel like I need this. This guy has grown tired of it. Could there possibly be something else wrong with it? And that's why he's just done with this thing. Like, a tune isn't complicated. Seems like you could drag that to any of multiple Ricer shops and get this thing tuned. It's a Megasquirt's popular tuner. But it just sounds like he's just fucking done with it. He's been working on it. I'm assuming there's a wife that's like, please get that out of the garage. If my neighbor had this thing.
It literally, it could be a grounding strap problem or something, you know. We found that out on my protege, how you have to have really, really strong power and really strong grounds in order to operate a standalone engine management system, right? So, I mean, even if there's some electrical gremlins, it's got a whole new wiring harness. And as long as he didn't cut it all up, like, that shouldn't be your problem.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry.
That's the other thing is I was worried this was a spliced together wiring fit job, but he's asking 35. If my neighbor had this for 3, dude, but I in my head I'm like, if I walked over there and he had this for 3, I'd almost give him more for it if this guy was my neighbor because I know there would be a knowledge pool I could pick on, whereas this dude's some random, you know what I mean? Dude, I think if this was my neighbors, I might give him 3 for it. I don't know. It's hard for me not to go look at this right now. Like, this seems like such a really good, I'm not gonna say good deal because it's a project, but on the other hand, like it's worth it in parts in my mind.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Here's what I'm gonna say: if it's a penny under 3, I can. If this is $2,900, I'm not even gonna listen to I'm not gonna ask my wife. She's just gonna see the bank accounts list and be like, "Yeah, I bought a Ranger." So there's that. Sorry, I'm asking forgiveness, not permission. Honestly, if I'm afraid if I messaged him, he said it'd take 29. I think I'd go get it. I don't want to message him and have him say yes. Like I'm scared to talk too much about this because I might end up with it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Where are you feeling on this, Andy?
Personally, I think he's going to budge a little bit. I expect this to sell for 3,300, but I truly do think that it's a deal at 35. I think it's a very strong deal. Me personally, if I had the cash, and don't get this confused, you guys, when you're listening to this podcast. It's not about if you just if it was sitting there right now. When we always say that, sitting at your neighbor right now, but imagine you were looking for a car and you had the disposable income. Kind of sort of keep that in the back of your mind. Would you or would you not gamble your money on this thing? And I 100% would. I'm actually going to go a little bit higher than you. If this was sitting in my neighbor's yard and it was 3,200, I would be scrimping and scrounging and finding some way to get it. And frankly, it's because I feel the same way Mobile Moto does. Let's just go ahead and talk about that. Mobile Moto says if he came at me with that on a trailer, I'd give him $4,000. I think Mobile Moto, you're not alone.
Sounds like Mobile Moto is a hardcore Ranger guy and might give him a touch more of his yard.
He's a hardcore Ford guy. Fox bodies, Rangers, Mustangs.
Yeah, he's got a couple of those motors. Says he could have it running in a weekend. God, that makes it because
he says
so
that's a 12
that has,
running.
Now there's somebody that I am loosely connected with that I could pull knowledge base off of and have this. This is getting hard for me not to message this guy. And I honestly am surprised it's not sold already. It seems like such a solid deal. I got that Colorado. If I just threw a fucking bumper on that, I could sell it for twice what this is and then split it.
Oh, it does have, those are Washington plates, I think, but it's located in Salem. So there may be some title fuckery, but that could explain why it's been up for so long. Or just people aren't interested. Like you said, they're just not interested in trying to tackle something like this. I mean, I know plenty of people where they see the standalone engine management system and just go, nope, I'm gonna skip that one.
I messaged this one guy and just like, I wouldn't touch that project with your dick. Like, and I'm like, dude, he's already bought all the stuff. Like, this is what you would have to do. He's just put half the puzzle together for you. He's like, yeah, no. I'm like, I go both ways on the not touching somebody else's project. Like, yeah. I try Mobile Moto. I try not to go down that because it gets now I got to find a cab. Now I'm into it another $2,000. Yeah, you have 6 cabs. It's different.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. Coy's not trying to turn his house into a junkyard just yet.
Yeah, dude, this thing's a deal, and I'm literally trying to talk myself out of messaging this guy and going to look at it.
Yeah, I think it's a solid deal, and I have some experience with this particular year of at least the electronics that are on this motor. And hey, we've got somebody in the comments that knows all about these, so we've got a support network here, you guys. If you do think it's a deal and you want to run out there and buy it, don't hesitate and hit us up. Let us know. We've got some resources that we can help you out with here, you guys. If somebody out there, by the way, thinks that this is a total just steaming pile of a doobie, go ahead and let us know that too. We want to know your thoughts about it. Drop them down in the comments. But for right now,
I
this is
gotta
our
research. I gotta research this Aerostar transfer case situation too. This holy shit! Can you
no.
imagine, bro? All-wheel drive, turbo, street mod, Ranger truck, autocross. I don't know. It might could be a fucking autocross monster. Who knows?
I don't know which is going to explode first, your brain or your dick.